So I know I understand science that's missed in medicine that make a great difference in your life. And I'm going to bring on a client right now. Tammy, I'm going to bring you on. Let's see. So give us a... Tammy, we've known each other for, a little while. We lost contact with you.
Yes. Yes.
Tell us why you were looking for information about the lymphatic system.
Absolutely. A couple of years ago, I started out with, I had a rash on my arm and on my legs, and nobody knew what it was. It was just getting worse and worse and worse. So ended up going to the hospital, and probably I'd say within 48 hours, my body was just covered with this horrible, horrible rash. And it went from like red to black. It was later diagnosed. They were going to send me to every hospital, every doctor. Nobody knew what was wrong with me. Finally, they called in a specialist, and he diagnosed me with vasculitis. It was horrible. So I was in the hospital for about 2 weeks. Then they ended up putting me in a nursing home for probably about 4 months. And it was just horrible. My skin was just breaking out. My legs looked like something from, something you don't even want to say. It was just horrible. But I did get better, working very intensely with the wound care center. But what I noticed was that as my legs were getting better, all of a sudden the top of my legs were becoming huge. They started I was like, what is going on? I started blow up like a balloon. And I started asking them. Nobody had any answers as to what that could be. Well, we're here to treat you for your legs. You're done. See ya. You're done. So I was like, okay. So, and I did get better. I was doing a little bit better, but I was losing weight. But at the same time, I noticed my legs were just the top of my legs, my thighs were just getting larger and larger and larger. And I was like, okay, what the heck is this about? So of course, going to doctor after doctor, nobody knew anything about it. So of course, I started Googling, what could this be? And that's when I came across, it could be, edema, it could be lymphedema, and, kept on researching. And that's when I came across you. And I was like, this guy really seems to know what he's talking about, because all the doctors that I've seen have no clue what was wrong with me. And that's when I finally, went, called you. And unfortunately, I had a few deaths in the meantime. So I kind of got away and wasn't worrying about my health. When I look back, I probably would be able to help teach some of your clients at this point, because I've learned so much from you. But, things happen for a reason. And I'm so grateful that, unfortunately, it is what it is. But it's just gotten so much worse, to the point where now I have to have aids. I can't walk. I use a walker. The condition has just gotten so much worse. So, I just started praying and just asking God to show me. And I was like, well, whatever happened to John? He didn't go anywhere. So I started, looked you back up, and you and Eileen are just lovely people to work with. And I remember going back to the first time that you and I started working together, and I'm very spiritually open to things. So, but I was like, oh, is this going to work? I don't know. But I didn't care at that point. Well, I remember the first time you and I started working together, and all of a sudden, I remember you saying to me, do you know that you fell asleep on me? And I was like, I did? Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. And you were like, no, it's okay. And I remember you saying to me, okay, now I'm going to put my left arm on your clavicle, or I'm going to do this. Yeah, I don't know what you're putting it on. I don't even know what a clavicle is, but all I knew was that I was so much more relaxed in such a short period of time. I remember trying to hold the phone and listening to you tell me, I'm going to touch this, I'm going to touch that. And my arms were just I could not keep my head open. I mean, keep my head up. My whole body was just ugh. And in such a short period of time. There was in the beginning where I think it was, for me, I think they call it that Herxheimer reaction, where I was having way too much happen too soon. So I remember you had said, let's just slow it down a little bit. And that's kind of what we did.
One thing I'd like to tell people, if we can, is that you weren't just somebody with lymphedema. When we met, doctors were basically telling you, we don't know what to do with you. It's affecting your heart, your kidneys, your lungs.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yes.
So
yes, absolutely.
More, and
you're absolutely right. It's much more, there's so much more to it than, you're absolutely right. It's just, it's overwhelming. I've had so many people say, I don't know how you can cope. I've been in and out of nursing homes. I've probably been out of my home for over 2 years with the amount of time I've been in and out of nursing homes. They've called in specialists, they've called in heart doctors, kidney doctors, specialists, and nobody knew anything. And like you and I were talking, they would just constantly just fill me up with, all kinds of medications, and it did absolutely nothing.
A lot of antibiotics, did they give?
Tons of antibiotics. Yep. And the, the Lasix and I mean, if I was lucky, my legs might have went down, a little bit, but nothing. And I'd get out and I'd be out for, maybe a couple months and I go right back in. Well, now it's to the point where I can't even stay home for a month and I'm right back in again. And what I thought was interesting is the more I started researching, which is very difficult to find information on the lymphatic system. But what I found was, and actually certain doctors even told me in the hospital that how little information that doctors are given about the lymphatic system when they're being trained to be medical doctors. Right. I was just blown away by that.
They really don't.
It's crazy. So then I just started, I started thinking, okay, I'm going to reach out to John again. Of course, I was playing a lot of phone tag with you because I was in and out of the hospital again. Finally, I'm like, okay, now I'm home. I'm going to call you. And so when we did our first session again yesterday, which is the first, I think it's been like probably about 2 years that I think about it. And I was a little hesitant at first, but once again, you started working on me and I'm like, there goes the right arm, there goes the left arm. And I could just feel myself in such a short period of time, just so relaxed. And I have to say this last time, it's affected me much more emotionally than it ever has. Like emotionally, it's gotten much, much worse. I do not sleep. I'm very full of anxiety and depression. I did not have that the last time, last couple of years.
Because you're filling with cellular waste. It doesn't just affect your legs, it's affecting your kidneys, your brain, your heart. So it's really affecting everything. Now, we can't really do a full session, right? I normally do 45 minutes on people.
Right.
We did 15 minutes. In 15 minutes, and what did your aides say?
Well, this is what I had to share, and that's I had to share this because I have 2 aides. I have a morning aide and I have a night aide, and so the morning aide comes in today. Now I haven't seen her since Thursday. Well, what the girls do is they massage my legs and just different things like that, and put some cream on just to keep the blood flowing, whatever. So the one aide comes in today and she says to me, God, she says, you can tell that there's 2 of us working on your legs. She goes, because I can't believe what a difference since I saw you on Thursday. She said, your legs are like night and day. And I started laughing. I said, you guys are great, but I'd like to give you both credit. It has nothing to do with either one of you. I said, it's John. She's like, who's John? So I explained, the whole situation to her. And I said, no, I said, this guy is just incredible. I said, and again, I was like, really, since I felt so much worse the second time, I thought, am I going to really go in here? I mean, this time I felt even better, so much quicker than I did the first time with you, being, I'd say 10 times sicker. Well, and she was just blown away. She's like, I cannot believe how good your legs look today. It's amazing.
And this is why we have to, right? We want to get people in who have lymphedema before. Unfortunately, you had doctors who had no clues of what was going on, and you suffered out there. And hopefully we can get you to just feel better, right? Quality of life. You're not going in and out of the hospital.
No.
Do you have any advice? And again, this is not just for people who have edema. If you have bad anxiety, what tends to happen with anxiety? It gets worse, right? What happens with panic attacks? It gets worse if we don't gain control over it. And you see it, right? As your legs are swelling more, you're having more anxiety and other things. So would you suggest people to, look into our course if they have any type of problem, especially edema?
It's absolutely a godsend, John. And I'm not just saying that because especially, like I said, we haven't spoken. I mean, I've reached out to you and stuff and, I've been in and out of the hospital, as you know, but it was just, I was shocked about how quick my body and my brain, everything was so quick to respond to 15 minutes of working with you yesterday in the first in a couple of years it's been. And I have to say, really, like I started last night going into the course again and like reopening myself and just like I feel like I'm like learning a lot more stuff that I didn't really notice the first time. Like I'm so much more into it right now.
Well, you're motivated, I think, because your health depends on it, right?
It does,
well, it's the choice. All right.
There's just not enough help out there, and people that just have no clue. And I just can't recommend you enough, seriously, because like I said, I mean, just to last night, I'm like, I was even telling my other aide when she called earlier, because she'll come on tonight. And I said to her, I said, my arms were it's just incredible. I said, I'm going to have to start putting the speaker like on just on speaker because I can't hold the phone within 5 minutes. I'm like,
clients feel my sessions. I mean, I get blown away each session. I feel different things on people, see different things, but they feel it like a roller coaster ride. So,
no, it's just it's great stuff.
we're going to work on you. We're going to get you feeling better little by little. That's what we have to do with some people, because we don't want to overwhelm you, because then
Right,
they send you
exactly.
back to the hospital.
No, we
All
have
right.
a session tomorrow.
Great. Make sure you hydrate a little bit. All
Yes,
right,
yes, I
Tammy.
will. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you and your
having me. I
husband. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.
All right, thank you. Bye now.
And especially I'm glad that Tammy came on, because I really have known her for almost 2 years, but her health was so bad that every time we did a little bit of work, a couple of days, she would just go downhill. And that's why we have to be very careful. As she said, she really probably wasn't going into the course as much as she should have, but now she's motivated. So we don't want to wait until we're at that point that we're at the bottom, because it's much harder to get up. We want to, whatever stage you're at, you have to start taking care of yourself. If you have